of Juneteenth, as we mark this important holiday, we want to remember the past. Here to help us understand the holiday is Dr. Marsha Walker-Rhee. She's co-chair of the Department of Rhetoric and Communication Studies over at Johnson C. Smith University. My friend Marsha, good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Well, this is a really great day to have you here because you know so much about African American history and literature, and Juneteenth is a really remarkable day, especially now that it's a federal holiday. Take us back. What does it signify?
Cheryl, Juneteenth is a celebration that is very powerful and is a unifying signifier for the African diaspora in the United States.
Okay, so when you say the African diaspora, what does that mean?
Those persons who were brought to these shores against their will and who then began generations of folk in this country are the ones we're talking about. And so we're talking about those domestic-born African Americans who have a rich cultural heritage dating back to the 1700s and even the 1600s in this country.
Okay, and Juneteenth is a day of celebration because it symbolizes the moment in which those enslaved people were made free.
Yes. So if we go back, we know that Juneteenth, not only June 19th, 1865, not only clarifies the demise of
the
vestiges of the Confederacy of the South, but it also marks the day, it punctuates the day in which these over 200,000 black bodies in Galveston, Texas were officially notified of their freedom.
Wow. And so this is an historical event. It happened in Texas, but it's something that we celebrate today nationally, and we celebrate really the emancipation, the freedom of all slaves, right? All enslaved people. Yes.
And North Carolina, interestingly, has very deep connections to Juneteenth.
How so? Do tell.
In fact, a large segment of our cultural anthropology from the late 19th centuries and the 20th century in American history has been captured by North Carolina-based historians and literarians. We know that Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation in 1862 and it went into law in 1863. However, the Civil War was still raging. So that meant that proclamation, that freedom, was doled out in smaller waves and pockets across the American South, including North Carolina.
Wow.
North Carolina was pivotal in spreading that freedom, and that involved over 6,000 black soldiers taking down Fort Fisher along our Carolina Beach area in January 1865.
Yeah, so I mean, it's an extraordinary history. These days, we are able to celebrate a long history of contribution to this country. There are celebrations all over the Carolinas happening today.
Yes.
Talk to me a little bit about the celebrations that happen these days on Juneteenth.
You've got everything from those private family gatherings to those mass public cookouts, right? And so I like to tell people that Juneteenth is an energizing affair that cuts across racial and ethnic boundaries. Yes, it's fundamentally marks the official freedom observance for black folk in this country, but it also speaks to the long-standing tradition of resilience, resistance, and hope for so many Americans.
And that's an American phenomenon, right? Hope and pulling yourself up by your bootstraps and all of that. We have celebrations across North Carolina. We have them right here in our region, right? Plaza Midwood, Gastonia, right here in Charlotte as well. It's an opportunity for all people to celebrate freedom.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Dr. Rhee. It's really,
thank you for having me.
Really great chatting with you, and thank you for providing that context. We needed that today. All right, if you want to find out more, there's all the information you need to know. Dr. Rhee's information right there on your screen. Thank you for being here. Enjoy the rest of your day. Mary, sending it over to you.